ये रेडियो पाकिस्तान पॉडकास्ट है।
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Radio Pakistan podcast. Today we are hosting this podcast with regard to Youm-e-Takbeer, 28th May 1998, a day that holds significant and immense importance with regard to Pakistan's defense. And I have with me Mr. Sultan Mehmood Hali sahib, who is a distinguished Pakistan Air Force veteran, a prolific writer, a TV host. Sir, welcome to our show.
It's my pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you so very much, sir. As we know that you yourself have actual experience, insights into what we today called Youm-e-Takbeer. Can you please take us to that time and era? What were you doing? What are your insights on this particular day?
Okay, but before I talk about that significant day, 28th of May 1998, I'd like to take your viewers and you a little back. 1976, the Canadian government decided to send a team. It was aeromagnetic survey of Balochistan and Sindh. And they brought an aircraft. It was an Aero Commander B500, and it had a camera under its belly and a magnetometer at its tail. The purpose of this was to carry out an aeromagnetic survey of entire Balochistan so that we can find out how much mineral is there, at what depth, and in what quantity. And the year was 1976. So when we first, and the Pakistan Air Force detailed some of us, I mean by some of us I mean one by one, because it was a fairly long mission, about 6 months, but we would go there for about 2 months each in rotation. So when I first ended up with them, we came on the Aero Commander and we were looking for the Dalbandin airfield. At that time, Dalbandin, by the way, just for your viewers and for you also, this was an airfield which was constructed in the Second World War by the British. And now, because of time and disuse, it was all covered in sand. So from a height, we could see the outlines of the airfield, but when we came into land, we could hardly find out where it was. But we did make a landing, and then we cleared the sand and we started operating from there. I want to connect with
that's what I was anticipating.
We had to fly, mosaic. Mosaic in survey is that you fly a line of 20 kilometers, then you turn around by half a kilometer and you continue flying. And that is how you fly. The pictures that were being taken by the camera and the magnetic anomalies that were being detected by the magnetometer, in the evening, the scientists who had come from Canada, they would sit and analyze and put it into the computer, and it used to give the results. What you call this mineral is there at what depth, and maps would come out of it. It was 76. There were huge computers, not these beautiful laptops or things like that. And Dalbandin was a very deserted place. But what struck me most, when we used to fly over there, this mountain of Chaghi. We used to go nearly around it, and every day it was black and bleak, and I have not forgotten those images.
And I've done in 1976.
1976. And in 1998, when atomic tests, the nuclear tests were carried out, and that picture which flashes on the Pakistan television screen, and you will see that black mountain had turned first white, then gold. And it changed not only its nature, but it also changed the history of the subcontinent, the history of Pakistan. And that impresses me most, although it also makes me recall that particular time when I had no clue that one day Chaghi is going to gain so much fame.
So I would like to ask this, that whether Pakistan Air Force had any role for suggesting the place to carry out these tests?
No, these were taken at a very different level. And it was the scientists who had carried out their own survey.
Okay.
Of a safe location,
Okay.
which would be a little away from, population,
Yes.
as well as not have any radioactive effects on the surrounding area. So it was extremely important. It was a very important and a very sensitive decision. But our role came in, let me take you a little back.
Okay.
When the decision was taken to develop our nuclear capability, I used to fly on the C-130 Hercules, and we were involved in that.
Okay.
We used to carry some of our scientists and some of our equipment on very top secret missions. More than 30 years have passed to that, so I can talk about it.
So if you can talk about it, can you also suggest exactly at what point Pakistan, because when we read in history books, slightly, some people trace it from Bhutto Saab's time. When exactly Pakistan started working on it?
Well, the man who was behind it was Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
And I cannot forget his speech that Pakistan will eat grass, but it will make the nuclear weapon. And why he did that, this was in retaliation to India, because they had carried out that test in Pokhara. And Bhutto Saab had resolved that this is to be done. But there was a handful of people whom he trusted.
Okay.
And in my program, Defense and Diplomacy, I have actually interviewed some of those pioneers. Okay. People like Secretary Tariq Mustafa, for example,
okay,
who was, from the bureaucratic side.
The core team.
The core team. Former President Ghulam Isa Khan, for example, who was again as a bureaucrat. And these were people. And then scientists. First, of course, it was Munir Ahmed Khan, who was the head of Pakistan Atomic Energy. And then later on, when our dear friend, what's his name?
Dr. Samar Mubarak or Dr. Abdul Qadir?
Dr. Abdul Qadir.
Okay.
Samar Mubarak came a little later. But when Dr. Qadir Khan came on the, on the scene, I mean, I'm sure your viewers, and you know the history, how he borrowed, I'll use the word borrowed, from Netherlands. It's a remarkable story. It's fantastic. I've read all that, and I've had the opportunity to talk to him and meet him in person, and it's fantastic. And he has a great contribution. There's no doubt about that. So, and then, of course, the core team, this side, the scientists, they were all sworn to secrecy. But we had the unique opportunity to fly them to China for cold tests of our nuclear, much before 98. And we were ready, by the way, much before 98. But we were not willing to talk about it because there was a lot of pressure already on Pakistan.
Pressure, sanctions.
And then, no, sanctions came later. But there was a lot of propaganda. Things like Islamic bomb and this, and you must have seen those videos. The West, especially our neighbor India, and even Israel, and the Western media, they did not want us to develop that. And of course, whatever Qadir Khan did, when it became public, they imposed. But you see, this thing, this whole, remarkable journey of Pakistan, it has had tremendous people, who have been contributing to it.
Yeah, it's a continuous resolve. And I would like to link the next question. It's generally, we see that in Pakistan, a policy established by one prime minister, let's suppose, or the president, or anybody who's leading, usually gets disrupted when the next regime comes. You said Zulfikar Ali Bhutto is the man behind the idea. We know what happened to Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. And after that, we still see the continuation. Despite the fact that it might be Zia's rule, it might be then we later come to Mr. Nawaz Sharif. How is this a continuous policy that almost everybody played their part, despite their own political differences?
You see, first of all, it was appreciated by whatever leader was in place. Of course, Bhutto, as I said, was the father of Pakistan's atomic bomb, if you want to call it, or nuclear program, let's say. But whatever end he met, when Ziaul Haq took over, although he was the army chief before that, but he was not privy to this whole thing. But the moment he became the president of Pakistan or the martial law administration, he came to know that this is happening.
Okay.
But he realized, and I will give him credit for this, that he realized that this is a path which has to be taken. It cannot be rolled back, it cannot be turned back, it cannot be closed down, whatever.
Consistent.
This is the only path forward for Pakistan's defense.
Okay.
And of course, I will give credit to the people who succeeded him. Of course, Zia-ul-Haq himself remained in power for nearly 11 years. And then the end he met, but the civilian governments that came after him.
Both People's Party, Muslim League, Nawaz Sharif, Benazir, both had their contributions.
They both had their contributions. So now it was a given factor that whatever political differences, whatever, the nuclear path has to be adopted and it has to be brought to a fruition.
Sir, I also want to, link this. We got a nuclear bomb and we have, showcased even in the recent Marka-e-Haq against India that what we can do with regard to defense. But we struggle on economic fronts. So what do you suggest our politicians, the way we showed a resolve, a consensus, a continuity of policy from Bhutto to Nawaz Sharif, from 1976, if I call it, or even before that to 1998, what can we derive from this, what inspiration can we get that if we did that and all of us together made that happen, why can't we have a consistent policy on economy and other affairs so that we can also become an economic force in the world?
Do you mind if I give you some of my insights? Because I was in service. And in 1998, things were very bleak. Because the whole world was watching us. And the moment India carried out its test, then all the attention was now focused that Pakistan should not carry its tests out. And Bill Clinton personally talked to Nawaz Sharif.
He did.
First of all, he offered him, compensation.
A lot of money, yeah.
If I don't want to use the word bribes, but he offered compensation that if you don't carry it, I'll help you and you can buy arms and this and that.
Yes.
And I'm not privy to the fact whether Mr. Nawaz Sharif was, swayed by it or not. But the consensus was there in Pakistan, in Pakistani armed forces, in Pakistani media, in Pakistani think tanks, that there is no turning back. We have to, this is an option we have to adopt. And also we were threatened with very dire consequences. What you're talking about that, I'll just answer your question. But we were threatened.
Okay.
And please also remember that Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, he was actually going to buy a second, nuclear reactor from France.
Okay.
And it is written by Henry Kissinger in his book, The White House Years. He mentions, and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto also mentions in his book, If I'm Assassinated, that Henry Kissinger told him that we will make a horrible example of you if you follow this path. And I'm sorry to say, a horrible example was made of him. So now the precedence had been set that whoever carries this path is going to face a very difficult time.
Okay.
But now the nation as a whole was united. And at that time I was in service and we were, using our C-130s to carry the equipment, the scientists and all, landing at Dalbandin, positioning them at Chari, which I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So I'm privy to that. Moreover, at nights we could see with the stars, the satellites of various nationalities trying to keep an eye on us because they were trying to guess where exactly is the location.
Yes.
And we also had information that the Israelis were there in Srinagar. The Indians were fully ready to strike and nip it in the bud and take a preemptive action. So we used to have caps. So it was a very tense moment. It was a very tense few days. We were waiting and ultimately, Alhamdulillah, on 28th of May 1998, that not only the decision was taken, but a go-ahead was given. And then the rest is history. Okay, now let's come to your question.
Yes.
We knew we are going to face very, very difficult times. and things were very bad. But I'll give you my own personal. I was director of a unit in Air Headquarters when the Prime Minister announced that we will not take tea anymore because tea was being brought from outside and a lot of foreign exchange was going.
Okay. That so, it's in 90s?
98.
Okay.
Just after the explosion.
Okay.
So what I did was that I gave an order that we should plant lemongrass tree outside our offices and we will cut that. So Bhutto had said we'll eat grass, now we were drinking grass.
Literal grass. We are gonna.
But what I mean is that the nation had prepared itself to tighten the belt.
Okay.
And we faced it.
Okay.
Those are very difficult times. But Alhamdulillah, we came out of it. But coming to your question, why we can't get united? Well, that is a misfortune of this country. And I wish we get together because actually, united we stand.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big inspiration for us to look forward to. Our country, I mean, they keep on telling you are not good enough and then even you proved it. So that tells you that the country has a resolve, and if the leaders are united at some front, we can achieve such big laurels, we can win such big laurels. I would also take advantage of you being here. I personally, as somebody, for long I thought that nuclear bombs should not be there. Many people believe that nuclear bombs should not be there, but I think gradually what we are witnessing in the entire world, the kind of crimes that have been committed by Israel in the recent past, Iran-Israel conflict. So somehow it's, survival of the fittest and jurm-e-zaifi ki saza marge mafajat, that's becoming quite apparent. And when we look back, many people now think that this is the way to go to have a very strong defense. What are your thoughts on that?
First, let me give you a little, backdrop to 1998. Yes. After India carried out its test, it wanted to call our bluff. It thought that we are not ready, first of all. So I still distinctly remember the very, very belligerent threats coming from India, daring us that if you have the bomb, do it now. Show us.
Okay.
And it thought that we will not be able to do it and we are going to have mud on our face.
Okay.
But Alhamdulillah, we did it. So we did not have an option.
Okay.
We had to, prove to the world. Secondly, we knew that there had been attempts to get to our nuclear assets from international conspiracy mongers, including India and including the Mossad and so many others. They had been trying to reach because they did not know the exact location. I don't know if you know about even diplomats who were arrested close to Kahuta and things like that. This fellow, Ajit Doval, who is the current National Security Advisor, he was posted undercover at the Indian High Commission in Islamabad. And he writes at a place, and I've also seen his podcast, he mentions that how he found out that he went to a place where he thought that our scientists would come for a haircut, so he collected the samples of the hair and he had them tested for radioactivity.
They made a movie on that as well.
Well, you know it. So the point is that, of course, there's a lot of James Bond stuff,
yes.
But the fact is that everybody was trying to get to us, and we did not have that option. And if you look at the, events after that, what happened in Afghanistan and so on, and the war on terror and so many other things. There have been threats on Pakistan. In 2001, 12th of December, India carried out a false flag operation on its own parliament and got some of its members killed and blamed it on Pakistan. And then it amassed all its, forces. In fact, for one full year, Indian forces were eyeball to eyeball. But they did not dare to cross because they knew that we have the nuclear asset. And before that, let me take you a little back.
60s.
No. In 1987, when already there was, our program had reached some stage. At that time, India had a chief by the name of General Sundarji.
Okay.
And Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India. And he had convinced him that this is the ripe time to attack Pakistan. And he had amassed his forces, Indian forces, close to Rajasthan. They were planning to cut, because if you look at the map, that is the narrowest part of Pakistan. So they thought that they will divide us into two and then, destroy us.
Yeah.
If you recall, at that time, there was a cricket match going on in Jaipur.
Mr. Ziaul Haq.
And Ziaul Haq invited himself to go and attend it.
He invited himself is the right way to put it. Yes, exactly.
And this is something which I have read, which has been penned by one of the Federal Secretaries of India, who was a witness to this. Rajiv Gandhi said that he's coming to watch a match and I'm not going to receive him. This is not a proper visit, but he was told that whatever it is, he is the president of that country, you should go there. So he did come. And this Federal Secretary writes that I was walking I was walking behind President Zia and Rajiv Gandhi. They were walking together. And President Zia whispered in his ear that I know you have your forces amassed and everything, but please remember that we have the nuclear bomb. And also remember that you will destroy us and we will destroy you. This is mutually assured destruction. But Pakistan may be finished, but there is a whole Muslim Ummah. They will continue. But yours is a Hindu nation. And if we destroy India, there will not be a single Hindu left in the world to carry your name of Hinduism. And this fellow writes that he saw the hackles on the back of Rajiv Gandhi go straight up. And that after this, he ordered Sundarji that call off this adventure. So these are the advantages that we accrued. And we have been so close to the brink, but they have saved us. Now, I was talking about 2001. 1 year we were together. Now, we had the advantage that we could see that their forces are coming. So we acted very swiftly and we positioned ourselves in a defensive position. India realized that it's not going to win this situation, especially because of our nuclear. So they developed a new strategy. They called it the cold start strategy. Cold start means that the forces will be positioned, ready to strike at a moment's notice, so that we don't have to, we won't have any notice and we will not be able to react.
Okay.
And Pakistan said that, okay, fine. But what we did, we developed tactical nuclear weapons. Tactical nuclear weapons, by the way, are things which can be used tactically, not on a massive scale. And even a platoon commanded by a lieutenant colonel will be equipped with a nuclear weapon which can instantly hit them and hit them very hard. And that is how the cold start strategy was shattered. The myth was shattered. So now they have come up with this all false flag operations and surgical strikes. And what we did, alhamdulillah, first of all in 2019, when they carried out Operation Bandar and we carried out Operation Swift Retort, they did not learn any lesson from that. They tried again in 2025, and this time they were in for a bigger surprise.
They were. We're running out of time. The last question, Youm-e-Takbeer. What significance do you think should it hold for us, and what message and what result should we carry from this day?
Well, first of all, please appreciate this, that our main adversary is India. And if you call Israel an adversary, okay, them too, and Pakistan. We are all equipped with nuclear weapons. So nuclear weapon is in a way to stop the nuclear war. But it does not stop either of us from taking into action the conventional weapons. And that is what India tried in 2019 and again in 2025.
Yes.
The nuclear shadow remains. And we should be careful for that. We should be mindful of that. And we should be thankful for that it is there.
Okay.
But we know that it is only going to be the last resort. Because once we use it,
no coming back.
No coming back, not just for the region, but for the entire world, because the winds are going to carry it forward. So therefore, we have to, while we rely on our nuclear weapons and its security and safety and the safeguards that we have taken, and alhamdulillah, our safeguards are much better than our neighbors. But the fact is that we have to develop our reliance on the other means of inflicting pain on the enemy, or at least, creating a deterrence that he will think 5 times that what punishment he is going to be given, not through nuclear fire. The nuclear is there in the backdrop, but through the conventional weapons. And if we develop ourselves that, and then what you hinted earlier, what we need very badly is unity.
That's it. The last words, unity is what we need. And as sir rightly said, united we stand. Thank you so very much, sir, for your valuable insights on this day. Thank you for coming to Radio Pakistan podcast.
ये रेडियो पाकिस्तान पॉडकास्ट है।